This is your host, the Apostle Reuben, with another short Bible lesson. Again, brothers and sisters, we're talking about the lake of fire. Who's going to be cast into the lake of fire? We're going to read it because, as we say, brothers and sisters, our people are influenced by a smiling face, a set of blue eyes. They just don't know that these people are leading them to death. Guys like this, our people shouldn't be listening to. Because he's not going to teach you what we're going to teach you today. Again, we're talking about the lake of fire. Matthew 13:40. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. So what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, we're going to go to Psalms. I want you to see what iniquity is. Psalms 32 and 5. Read it with me carefully. I acknowledge my sin unto thee, my sin. And mine iniquity have I not hid. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto the Lord, and thou forgavest the iniquity of my sin. So iniquity is sin. Iniquity is the same as sin. And of course, 1 John 3:4, whoso committeth sin, if you commit sin, transgresseth also the law. For sin is transgression of the law. So iniquity is sin, and sin is transgression of the law. Backtrack. Back to Matthew. Let's sneak on back over to Matthew. Yeah, Matthew 13 and verse 41 again. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity. When it says gather out of his kingdom, he's going to put them out. Now, verse 42 is graphic. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. So we know right now, brothers and sisters, sinners, whether a woman or a man, are going to be cast into the lake of fire. If you're a sinner, this is the judgment. If you transgress the law, it's the judgment. Now, where did Christ get this from? Let's go to Psalms. He says, weeping and gnashing of teeth. You see there? Let's look at it. Let's read it again. And shall cast them into a furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Gnashing of teeth. What does gnashing of teeth mean? The book of Psalms 112. Now, we're going to drop down to verse 10 now. If you're going to look at Psalms 112, it has to be read from 1 to 10, but 10-minute episode. If I read Psalms 112, 1 through 10, that'll be a full podcast episode. And I'm going to do it. Eventually. Psalms 112 and 10. The wicked. Now, you have to know, brothers and sisters, who the wicked are. You have to put these things together. Psalms 119, verse 53. Horror has taken hold upon me because of the wicked that forsake thy law. So we know that the wicked forsake the law. The wicked forsake God's law. The wicked are sinners, bottom line. So Psalms 112 and 10. The wicked shall see it, and shall be grieved. The grieved is because they're looking at the salvation of the righteous. He shall gnash with his teeth and melt away. Melt away is to be burned up. This is the judgment of the lake of fire. And once again, sinners, those that transgress the law, are going to be burned. No doubt about it. The desire of the wicked, which is the sinner, shall perish. How is it, brothers and sisters? How in the hell can a smiling Edomite get that pasture? Now you're beginning to see, if you would think about it, now you're beginning to see who T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, Michael Todd, and Tony Evans worship. Even Juanita Bynum. Now you see who they're worshiping. Is it the Christ of the Bible? Daniel 10 verse 6, Revelation 1:15. Or is it the white man, Edom, that made himself an image? Which one do they worship? See, they say it don't matter, but I read in John 7, verse 38. And I want you to pay attention, brothers and sisters. John 7:38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said. His body was also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet, like in colors in the Bible, to polished brass. You're looking at polished brass with red eyes. This is the Christ of the book. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. This is the Christ of the book, polished brass, burnished brass. But they don't want Christians, oh no, it doesn't mean that, and it's this shame is something, isn't it? So let's go to Malachi. Oh, brothers and sisters, let's go back to the Bible. Let's go to the book of Malachi. I hit the wrong button. Malachi 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. All the proud, yea, all them that do wickedly, sin, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts. It shall leave them neither root nor branch, because that is the second death. There's not going to be, you have a lot of people say that, oh, your soul lives on, and you die, your soul lives on in hell, and all that. Man, let's cancel that. Ezekiel 18, verse 4. Now here we go. Let me read it. Behold, all souls are mine. As the soul of the Father, so also the soul of the Son is mine. The soul that sinneth, which is transgressed the law, it shall die. Souls die. They don't live on, they die. New Testament. James 5. Real quick, verse 20. Let him know that he which converteth the sinner from the error of his way shall save his soul from death. We don't got to play with your brothers and sisters. A soul dies. It doesn't live on. These Christian pastors, you need to come out of that. But I want to go real quick to Luke 3. Because Christ mentions this. Luke 3 in verse 17. Whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor, cleanse it. He will gather the wheat into his garner, but the chaff he will burn with fire unquenchable. Who is going to be burned with fire unquenchable? Sinners. If we are transgressing the law, brothers and sisters, we are going to be burned up in the lake of fire. The same one mentioned in Revelations 20 and 15. We got to pay attention now.